Alright, what's up everyone? Welcome back to another episode of some live video game home. Nice mix of stuff in this one. There's a few games, a few odd retro bits and pieces, and a bit of trading in as well. So let's not waste any time, let's jump out there and let's see what we found. Alright, so we're back in the car now. Didn't see anything in the first two local charity shops. A couple of new bits in the first one, but nothing really for us. Headed out to Swords then. The first shop was closed for lunch, so I was literally got there at 2 o'clock. It was closed from 2 to 3, so I wasn't hanging around to go back into it. Went into the second one in Swords. They had a good few games in there that weren't out there on Thursday, so considering it's only been a few days, it's always interesting to see, you know, when you go kind of frequently, how often new games appear. We managed to get a few in there. Now, they're nothing major. I just picked up a couple of Buzz Big Quizzes because I don't have this one and the other one's going to trade back for 3. And then I got another game in there which we won't show because it's part of a different series, but because they were marked as DVDs, they're buy 2 get 1 free. So all in for those games it was 3, 6, 8, so we paid €6 because the cheapest one was free, and then yeah, it was $8.50 overall. Couldn't leave this Yoshi behind for $2.50. He'll go nicely on the Mario shelf. So not a bad little stop anyway. A few bits to kick off the game hunting in this one, and we'll get out another day and see what else we can find. Alright, so it's another day. We're back out again. Another local charity shop run. I was kind of half tempted to take the dart or go somewhere a bit mad and see if we could find anything, but weather's a little bit unsettled, so I think we'll just stick to the car. Hit the local charity shops. This is our bread and butter. This is what we used to do back in the day. Every 2-3 days we'd hit these shops, and that was when we used to find loads of games. So hopefully that tactic pays off for us today and we find a few bits. If not, we have a few more days that we can get out before the end of the week to try and find some stuff. But let's not waste any more time. We're going to jump straight into the first one now, see if anything shows up. Okay, so actually got a few games in that first stop. Picked up a couple of PS2 games cheap enough for the collection that we don't have, both in really nice condition, but we got a copy of Batman Begins and picked up Hitman Contracts as well. So for €3 they were pretty good find. And then bit of a Mission FIFA spoiler, but we have to show this one off. FIFA 14 on the PS4, keep an eye out for this one. This trades for €10 in CEX and it was only €1. So we're going to 10 times our money on that one. Probably pay for those 2 games and a few more that we hopefully pick up in the next few stops. But definitely a bolo FIFA 14 on the PS4. But let's keep going. Let's head to the next one, see what we can find. Right outside the 2 where we never find anything. Is today going to be the day? Let's find out. Oh, yeah.
Hello. So I didn't mean to. I thought you were a friend of mine. You must have a doppelganger.
I probably have a few of them around that, right, Jen?
Oh, send them in.
I've absolutely no idea what was going on there. Also just noticing that my Zelda calendar is still on August.
On to the next. Okay, so just jumping back into the game room very quickly to show the few bits that we picked up in that one. We forgot to show them off in the car. But you see me look at 2 games. One of them was empty, but the other one was Watch Dogs. It was €1. It's not really worth an awful lot, but it's a game that we don't have in the collection. So for €1, why not? And then picked up 2 more VHS for the collection. I got this Ghostbusters. Unfortunately, it's not the original one. It's the special edition that was re-released in 2003, but you just can't beat the cover art on it. So an absolute classic. If you're going to have a little VHS collection, that's a must-have in it. And talk about a classic VHS. This is from what year? This is 1993. This is a copy of The Page Master. You have to put a comment down below if you remember watching this when you were younger. Love this film. Really nice actual blue case in this and really nice artwork on it as well. So another class edition for the old VHS collection. So we're going to jump back out now, back into the game hunting. But just a quick reminder, if you're still watching the video, if you're enjoying the out and about hunting, please consider subscribing to the channel. It costs nothing, just click the button. Whenever you go on YouTube, if we have a new video, it'll just show up on your little homepage so you can watch it. And if you get a chance to hit a like on it as well, we'd really appreciate it. But anyway, enough begging, back to the game hunting. So as you've seen, we haven't been finding an awful lot really. Ticking over on the finds, a few interesting bits and pieces to show off. But we're nearly at the 2-week mark now, so we're just going to do one more run at the local charity shops and then we'll put a little video together just showing what we found in the 2 weeks. And I do have a monthly subscription box at home. I was hoping to get a mystery box, it hasn't quite arrived yet, so we'll keep that one for the next one. But we'll jump into the first one here, do the little local run, and hopefully we find a decent pile of games to finish the video off with. So not much doing on that one, just picked up a couple of Buzz Junior games. They were going for £2. It's about what they trade for. The one that I put back, actually, interestingly enough, I think it trades for about £5 and sells for about 12 in CEX. But I remember from the last time there's no disc in it. I did another little double check just in case someone noticed it and went through other cases and found it, but it was still empty. And a lot of the other stuff that's there has just been sitting there for weeks now. It's just odds and ends of stuff that's not worth anything that we already have for the collection. But we'll keep moving and hopefully find some stuff in the next few stops. So will this week finally be the week that we finally find the mega haul in the 2 we'd never see anything in? Alright, so no games in there. I do like a route around that shop though. I always find a few interesting bits and bobs. I think the last time I was in there, I don't even know if I've gotten around to showing it off or if I showed them in the car. I think I got a couple of VHS. I'm trying to just get a little small... I'm obviously not going to go and buy every bloody VHS out there, but just a small collection of like some good classic 80s, 90s films. But I did pick these up. They were like €2, but it's a pack of 3 blank VHS tapes. They're the €3 ones. The pack is sealed, so... I don't know, I probably don't have any use for it, but I'm sure there's someone out there that would probably pay a tenner for these. I don't know. If you ever hear me mention, if you see me picking stuff like this up in videos, by the way, that I'm not keeping for the collection, that I'd say I'll probably flip or try and get a few quid for. If it's something you're interested in, send me a message on Instagram, because this stuff kind of sits around the house for a few weeks after a video post before you can get around to trying to shift it on. So I don't know, if anyone out there wants a pack of 3 Sony VHS tapes for a few quid, let me know. But yeah, on to the last stop now and see if we can pick any games up in there to end the video with. Okay, so didn't see any games in that last stop. I did make a bit of an off-camera purchase. I might talk about it later on, I don't know. It's more of a personal thing that I bought, but I seen this old video camera. It was €40, but it's the exact same camera that we had in our house growing up, and the one that I had worked for years, and a couple of years ago I took it out just to have a look at some old tapes and stuff, and it was completely dead. Maybe it just needed a new battery or something. I never even thought to send off just to try and replace the batteries, but it didn't work off the mains either actually. So, but this is literally the exact same one. It has all the accessories, it has the manual, everything with it. So I kind of think it was just meant to be. It's something that I had to pick up, but we'll talk about it a bit more later on. But I'm not going to go to any more charity shops today. We're not finding much at all lately, and I'm not going all the way to Swords and back just for the sake of 2 shops. But I do have a kind of a half an hour to kill because I want to avoid the school run. So what I might do is, I'm not too far away from CEX and I still have a bag in the boot full of stuff to go up there. I'm not going to give the poor feckers an IKEA bag full of games, but I might just get a little plastic bag and just take out a selection of stuff, just put it in the bag, bring it up and see what we can get for it, and maybe we might see something up there that we can trade in for it. So we'll pop up there and see if we can pick out anything decent. I have to excuse the state of my boot, but this is the IKEA bag of stuff I have. So I'll just make a selection of bits and pieces. That Bratz is going well lately, actually. We'll get that in here. Just some random stuff, see what we can get for it. Alright, so as you've seen, didn't find an awful lot of games again in this one, but we got a few interesting bits and pieces. That bag of stuff I put up to CX, by the way, I've had that IKEA bag in the boot of the car for about, it must be 2 months now, just kind of waiting for sort of a rainy day where we don't find much, just to kind of get up there, get a bit more content basically, and shoot myself bringing up some of the games to trade. Just didn't want to bring in the whole bag because there was an awful lot of stuff, and I'd say there's probably about 50-60 games in that bag, and we still have some stuff on the shelf since I bag in the boot, so we really need to start catching up on the trade stuff. So good opportunity to get in there and get some stuff traded in. But this is the list. I'll go through it. You can either freeze frame, or what I'll do is actually I'll type it all out and I'll put it in the description down the bottom. So if you want to see everything that we traded in and how much we got for it, you can click in the description and it'll be in there for you. But basically give them 22 items. I kind of worked out when I put all that stuff in the bag that if they took everything, we'd probably get low end maybe 180 if a few bits didn't get traded in, and high end maybe 250 if they took everything that was in the bag. So for the 22 items that were in there, we got a voucher of €130, so that's a pretty good start. There's definitely about 100 quids in trade left in what's in the rest of the bag basically. So we'll bring it up again in a few weeks and we'll top what's left of the voucher, because of course I did buy something out of it, and what we get with your voucher, and then we'll try and get something nice out of that as well. A couple of consoles I need for the collection, so maybe if they have one or two of the consoles that we have, definitely one anyway, maybe we'll get a console out of it, maybe we'll just buy loads more games, wait and see. Where did I put it? It's in my pocket. So the game that I got out of this one, you've kind of seen the preview of the thumbnail, you'll have a pretty good guess of what it is, but one that I don't have for the collection, one that I don't have that's going into the Zelda shrine, but it's a copy of Majora's Mask on the N64. This actually looks pretty nice. There's a few marks and scratches on the label, but nothing too bad. But CX very kindly blessed us with a sticker right across the artwork, so I already had a little bit of a peel at it, and it's kind of coming away okay. There's just a bit of residue there, but what I might do is, I might just do, if you'd like to see me do this actually, what I'll do is I'll film another little, maybe not short, but just kind of a short form video that shows my process in terms of getting the likes of these labels off. Maybe I'll grab a few other bits out of the collection actually that has stickers on it and try a few different methods. If you'd like to see something like that, let me know. But we'll clean this up off camera. I'm not going to just rip it here just in case it takes half the artwork off with it. But delighted to have that. Half the credit gone, still have 65 left, and as I said, hopefully we'll build up a nice little fund with what's left in the car and get something else nice out of it. But that's it for this one. Thanks as always for checking out the videos, and we'll see you again soon. Cheers.